There's a rule in YouTube that you aren't supposed to swear in the first minute of a video or face the dreaded demonetization. So here's a fun countdown for when I'm going to go off on the person who recommended I do this show, whilst I simultaneously attempt to use cute animal footage to soothe my temper. Wolf, I noticed an angry twang in your voice. Yes, well, you'll see why. There's 3 things that really annoy me when it comes to anime. Regular viewers, acutely aware. The first, nonsense. Then, fetish pandering. And lastly, annoying main characters. Well, boy, did we hit the holy trifecta of that. The blood pressure from my implanted heart monitor became so high that a conservation team that occasionally kidnaps me in a big truck and brushes my teeth came out to see if I was dead. This show made me consider if we should simply take pens away from certain people. Maybe the British government is right, we should have more surveillance and place manga ink on the tracked list of purchases along with fertiliser and the precursor chemicals for biological weapons. Oh, look at the time. My friend Split recommended this one, you fucking Yorkshire twat. He was like, do this one, lad, it'll make good content. My ears pricking at the prospect. Content, you say? Watching this was easily in my top 10 worst decisions of all time, in between number 7, letting Luxembourg exist, and number 5, forgetting I had typhoid when I arrived to see the Aztecs. So before we discuss the author, plot, and my own side quests, here's what got me all riled up. Okay, content warning I guess. He's a hero from another world, and he's a healer. The people keep him locked up and breed him because heroes apparently have powerful sperm or some shit. He's assaulted all the time, and especially by an evil princess who tortures him after getting him addicted to fantasy fentanyl. When he dies, he is reborn again and proceeds to plot his revenge. He then allows the same thing to happen to him again for some reason, but really he's not addicted to the drugs anymore because he's purified them, and then proceeds to assault those who assaulted him with a fiery poker. Then he wipes her memory, turns her into a dog, and then assaults her regularly. World's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. A shit title, but the show was completely fine. This was quite baffling, honestly, as you'd expect them to have an entire library of miscreant creations. My cursory research conducted in the Wolf Library, kept deep in the heart of the Paris catacombs, saw him discuss manga and anime as more of a transactional relationship with the audience, rather than being into the content he writes. He had an interview with Joey the Anime Man, who you should definitely harass on my behalf so I can get a free ticket to Japan for a podcast. Yes, I'm that shameless. I can't have a bank account anymore, you see, on account of me single-handedly causing the 2008 financial crisis, so unfortunately it will need to be paid for by some kind of humanoid. In this interview, he says he writes what he enjoys. Then he says that he saw revenge stories were popular and decided to do that. Then follows it up by saying that as long as half the audience in the 50-50 love and hate debate paid and liked it, he doesn't care about the hate. If he only did what he cared about, then he would never have looked at popular trends, nor would care if anyone bought the product to make it worthwhile. Ergo, I've concluded he's completely full of shit. Weirdly, I think I'd prefer it if he was more of a reprobate and was really into the assault fantasy, because at least you could say they're mentally ill and force them to seek out treatment. Ryu did it for the love of the game, and money, of course, don't forget the money. It's a revenge story played out in 2 episodes. I've had more troublesome shits longer than that. Who is this for? 3 main groups. Those who are intended to be shocked, those who jerk off to this stuff, and incels. Usually a combination of the last 2. I'm searching for artistic merit, I really am. And also I am extremely bitter how at one point he controls a wolf girl like a dog, which for the record is extremely racist. She lost her spot at the wolf cookout with that one. I'm fairly sure that if I met anyone who enjoys this kind of thing, we'd have utterly nothing in common. I mean, enjoy your rape fantasy, dweeb. It is what it is. Let's not pretend otherwise like it has anything else of merit. I could actually make something myself of equal substance by shitting in my hands and clapping. You know what? Maybe I figured it out. The author, I think, created it specifically to help flag people for the Japanese police. It's not art, it's a psyop and it's genius. It's like leaving out a nice piece of cheese but for especially rapey mice. I don't care that they did it to the main character first. I'm known for my stunningly brave takes, and this is one of them. But, no, I don't want to hear it. This is baby logic. Look at you big baby. A big baby who keeps soiling themselves. Oh, yeah, you want to keep typing? Big baby who shit themselves, and now I've given you measles. Fuck you. It's power gratification. It's a sense of perverted catharsis that people with fantasies can hide behind, and you dumb bastards are being used for it. Nice one. It's just an edgy show, you normie. Alright. It's a bit like how Epstein used massages to hide his real purpose. You are the other masseuse next door, doing a real massage, but also you're hearing what's happening next door. Fuck off. Look, I've gained revenge over a great many species in my time. The dodo, the mammoth, the Dutch, etc. And I just killed and ate them. He should just do that. The other stuff is completely optional. How would Django Unchained be seen by the public if there was a deleted scene where he gropes Mr. Candy? If he got revenge by specifically being a child molester, would that be okay? Where's the same energy, huh? Oh, you're just a normie. I originally intended to do a classic Wolf versus play-by-play of Redo of Healer, but based on the content that was simply not possible. I also didn't want to watch any more than I strictly needed to. Within that, I prepared something that long-time viewers may be well aware of. When something gets really weird or creepy, you know me, I like to do a little something. So we get a bit here where the wolf girl learns that to grow stronger as a warrior, she needs to ingest it. They grew gauntlet and lagged under the white sun of those days, and their hollow, burned-out eyes were like those of nontabulants surprised by day. Crouched under their hats, they seemed fugitives on some grander scale, like beings for whom the sun hungered. Even the judge grew silent and speculative. He'd spoke of purging oneself of things that lay claim to a man, but that body receiving his remarks counted themselves well done with any claims at all. They rode on, and the wind drove the fine grey dust before them, and they rode an army of grey beards, grey men, grey horses. The mountain to the north lay sunwise in corrugated folds, and that the days were cool and the nights were cold, and they sat about the fire in his round of darkness, and in that round of dark, while the idiot watched Miss Cage at the end of the light. The judge cracked with the back of an axe the shin bone on an antelope, and the hot marrow dripped smoking on the stones. They watched him. The subject was war. The good book says that he who lives by the sword shall perish by the sword, said the black. The judge smiled, his face shining with grease. What man would have it any other way? He said. It makes no difference what men think of war, said the judge. War endures, as well ask men what they think of stone. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for him. The ultimate trade, awaiting its ultimate practitioner. That is the way it was and the way it will be. War is the ultimate game because war is at last forcing a unity of existence. War is God. Brown studied the judge. You're crazy, Holden. Crazy at last. The judge smiled. The title doesn't even make sense either. Redo of Healer? What the fuck is that? The Japanese tend to say things that sound cool to them, i.e. RE0, or names such as channel favourite Baron von Crackerbatty. Redo of Healer is not one of these. It's the type of name that Microsoft Word spell check should have caught in its infancy. Speaking of healing, I don't even think he's been to medical school, nor any of these characters any learning at all. I think the people that like this were either schooled at home or in some kind of young offenders institute. I don't mean to go too hard on you if you enjoy this, as everyone is liable to have at one point terrible taste. I had a quick little looky at the IMDb page to see if anyone who was part of this travesty had gone on to live happy lives, and more importantly, what I could do within the law to change that. Most don't have pictures attached to the page, which is what I would do as well. If I was them, I would have also gone underground and changed my identity, reappearing as Pepe the Wolf in South America. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Never mind. I already used Pepe the Wolf as my alias, so you might have already got some warrants on him. Where did we go wrong as a species to bring about redo of Healer? If I could successfully identify the exact moment where this show became destined to be, then I would simply keep sending atoms through the Hadron Collider until the universe imploded. What the main character doesn't understand is that there is a certain art to revenge. It's a responsibility that the Wolf Council takes very, very seriously. I've been suspended from this duty ever since I sunk the Titanic. Can I have anything positive to say about redo of Healer? It is functionally animated. They placed a series of images in consecutive order, creating the illusion of movement, and that's about it. It also says hilariously on the IMDb that Rui is also an actor. I presume acting as a writer in this case. Oh, here's a little something. Would you like to see what this guy looks like? Here you go. Fucking hell. I mean, my expectations were low, but here we are. That's not even an anti-furry thing, it's just general disappointment. It turns out that redo of Healer is published by Kadokawa. What a surprise. I've been beefing with Kadokawa as they don't appear to like criticism. So when I learnt redo of Healer was one of theirs, I knew it was going to be a copyright war. I think Kadokawa would publish a mischievous gibbon shooting smack in a field if they thought it would make money. So if this video looks like a PowerPoint, then know that I lost the copyright battle, but definitely not the war. If you want shocking media, then at least have it be good. Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, for example. Let's compare them directly. Why is Blood Meridian and redo of Healer not considered in the same way, at least conceptually? I understand that comparing the two authors is not fair at all. Cormac McCarthy is one of the greatest authors of all time, and Rui Tsukio is shit. But let's look at it. Both include the same subject matters: violence, trauma, sexual violence, revenge, and the loss of rationality in the face of senseless cruelty. Except Blood Meridian just has you sit there, thinking about it, being all traumatised and stuff, but redo of Healer is just pure, unadulterated fetish bait caked in uneasy sleaze. If anyone from the redo of Healer fandom is here, I assume with a beeping ankle monitor, can I ask you why do you enjoy this, besides the obvious of course? No, scrap that, I don't care what you think. Why, if it's a dark story designed to shock, do they explicitly try to titillate the audience with certain camera shots? There were parts where I genuinely cringed, like physically recoiled from the choice of cinematography. I think I'd respect you more if you just admitted it's purely fan service, but specifically designed for Supermax prisoners who have to live in a special protected wing. I made it to episode 4 and gave up. On episode 5, he could have converted to Islam and lived a peaceful life in the mountains for all I know. I think I'd have settled for 8 episodes of the MC decaying in the ditch and have a markedly better experience. I hope you had a good time as much as I had a bad time, which should have you skipping through fields in euphoric trances. Be sure to like and subscribe, as I've been in poverty long enough. Bye.